Are you interested in moving to Emerald Isle, North Carolina? In this video, we're gonna go over the pros and the cons of living in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. If you're looking in Emerald Isle, the inventory is low, but it is growing. So we're getting a few more homes on the market there. The real estate market is competitive, especially going into the spring market. If you're still interested, let's get into it. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about the current market in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. My name is Walt O'Berry and I'm with Real. I get calls from folks just like you every day. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is in the description box below. I'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Emerald Isle, North Carolina. So what are the pros of living in Emerald Isle, North Carolina? I actually lived in Emerald Isle from 1998 to around 2015. And the first thing that comes to mind are the beaches. Coastal Living magazine actually ranked Emerald Isle top 10 beaches in America in 2019. There's over 75 beach accesses scattered along the island. So for example, if you purchased a home in Ocean Oaks, there's like 2 or 3 beach accesses just in that oceanfront neighborhood. The majority of the time you have to either ride your bike down or ride your golf cart down. I've seen a lot of the public accesses have golf cart parking now, so that's pretty nice. The eastern and the western public accesses have paid parking for visitors. But if you live on Emerald Isle, then more than likely, if you go to the beach, then there's a public beach access. Along with the beaches, you have beach driving from September to April. So in the winter months, you can actually drive onto the beach. Next up, one of the benefits of living on Emerald Isle is the Emerald Isle bicycle path. It spans the whole length of the island from Indian Beach to the point. So it's 11 miles long. If you're driving in Emerald Isle any day of the week, you're gonna see someone out running, walking their dog, riding their e-bike up and down the bike path. A huge benefit to the island. The Emerald Isle bike path was actually dedicated to Alicia Sanderson, who retired as the director of the Emerald Isle Parks and Rec. She was actually very instrumental in helping create and fund the bicycle path on Emerald Isle. Alicia Sanderson, if you see this video, thank you so much for all you did for the bicycle path. It's absolutely amazing. Another pro of Emerald Isle is the Lifeguard Stations. So you have 2 Lifeguard Stations, one on the east end of Emerald Isle and one on the west end of Emerald Isle. It's just kind of an extra layer of safety and peace of mind knowing that there's a lifeguard on duty that could potentially save your child. Another benefit of living on Emerald Isle is a staple in the community, which is the Bogue Inlet fishing pier. The pier has a restaurant that you can eat at that overlooks the ocean, which is pretty cool. There's fishing year-round off the pier, and I've seen some pretty big mahi, king mackerel, stuff like that call off the end of the pier, which is kind of cool to see. I surf by the pier. Usually the surf there is really good, just because the pier kind of makes like a natural sandbar there. And I also sometimes will take Julian on Fridays. We'll just kind of walk up and down the pier. I don't think it costs anything unless you're paying to park during the season. The pier is just a staple of the community. Mike and his family have poured their heart and soul into that thing. And it's just a place that people like to go in the evenings. Emerald Isle is an island, and so guess what? There's tons of water sports. I already talked about fishing. You can fish off the pier. I've also seen a lot of folks while I'm beach driving, fishing from the surf. And I've seen plenty of redfish come in, flounder, other species of fish as well. But yeah, you have surf fishing. You also have Bogue Inlet, which is right there. So a lot of people will go offshore fishing for the day. I have a few friends that have charters, so if you need any recommendations, let me know. I'd be happy to send those your way. I like to surf on Emerald Isle. I have my beach pass to drive on the beach so that I can go to the point. The point has some great surf spots, as well as the pier. The Pier is a great surf spot. The fishermen and the surfers there definitely have a love-hate relationship. In one of my previous videos, I talked about Beaufort and Shackleford and people taking their boats out to islands. Well, it's the same thing with Emerald Isle. On any given day, most of the time on the weekends, you'll see people out on their boats. The tide goes out, little islands pop up, people just kind of park their boat there, bring out all the chairs and bocce ball and dogs, and just kind of enjoy the afternoon. And last but not least, one of the main reasons why Emerald Isle is so popular is because it's in a great school district. It's in the Croatan school district, and what teacher doesn't want to live at the beach and teach at Croatan or Broad Creek or White Oak Elementary? I actually went to Croatan High School, and they offer AP coursework to get the kids ready to go to college and all that fun stuff. So that's one of the other main reasons why Emerald Isle is so popular. So let's get into the cons. I'm a pretty positive person, pretty optimistic, and so it's hard to kind of come up with negative things about Emerald Isle because it's just so awesome. But this is my best effort to give you the cons of living in Emerald Isle. First up, you have the traffic in the summer. I've seen the traffic backed up from Emerald Isle all the way to Swansboro, getting onto that island Fridays and Saturdays. So the traffic can be pretty bad. If you live there, my advice is to stick to your bicycle or golf cart. It's kind of the easiest and quickest way to get around town. If I lived on Emerald Isle now, I'd be rocking a e-bike for sure. The number 2 con of living in Emerald Isle would be the longer waits for restaurants in the summertime. You're probably looking at 45 minutes to an hour wait at some of those restaurants in the summer. Now, if you go into any of the restaurants, you probably walk right in and you're fine. But in the summertime, expect to wait. The only other con that I can think of are flying insects. You have mosquitoes and you have No-See-Ums. The mosquitoes on Emerald Isle aren't too big. They're probably like the size of a quarter. I've seen some down east that are like the size of a bird. It's crazy. But you do have mosquitoes in the summertime. And then you also have these things called No-See-Ums. I'm not sure, where that came from. I mean, I guess it's because you can't see them because they're kind of like see-through, but they're these little itty bitty bugs. And when the wind isn't blowing, they come out because I guess they can fly when there's not a lot of wind. I mean, they will eat you alive. Those are probably the 2 biggest insects that I can think of. Come to Emerald Isle at your own risk. All right, so those are the pros and the cons of living in Emerald Isle. If you live here, I'm curious if I missed anything. Like if you think there's more pros and more cons, then comment below. And thanks for watching.